Hi, boys and girls. So I'm going to go over topic 11 review. So the first question says, Isaac bought 1/4 quart of macaroni salad and 2/4 quart of egg salad. How much salad did he buy in all? So our key word here is in all. Remember, when it says in all, we have to add. Okay, so we have 1/4 plus 2/4. Okay. When we add fractions, remember the denominator will stay the same. So my 4 stays the same. I add the two numbers on top. Okay, so 2, 3. So my answer is 3/4. And remember, if you have a fraction that has, like let's say you have a number line. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so forth. If you have two numbers in a fraction that are next to each other on a number line, you are not going to have to simplify this, okay? And our answer is even right here, C. Okay, next question, 2. It says, a container had 7 out of 8 gallons of water. Olivia spilled 3/8 gallon of water from the container. Which number sentence can be used to find how much water was left in the container? So let me highlight my question. Which number sentence can be used to find how much water was left in the container? So my keywords here are, I'm looking for a number sentence, okay? I'm looking for a number sentence, and it says which can be used to find how much water was left. Okay, left is also a keyword, and it says that she spilled it. So she spilled it, how much is left? Okay, that means that I'm going to subtract. Okay, I'm trying to see how much is left. So originally, she has 7/8 gallon of water. But then she spilled, so I'm going to take away, she spilled 3/8 of it. I need to see how much water she has left. So remember, our denominator, the 8, is going to stay the same. Now I'm going to subtract 7 minus 3. Okay, 7 minus 3, and I get 4. Okay, now let's look at my answers. So I noticed that I didn't have to solve it. Okay, all they want is a number sentence, but it's good I solved it anyways. So I'm looking for something that has this. Okay, so let's see which one has that. A looks pretty close to it, so question mark. For B, there's no number here, and they said it equals 8/8. I don't even have that here, so it can't be B. For C, they're adding, but I am subtracting. Cannot be C. And let's see, D has 4/8 minus 3/8. Well, I said 4/8 was my answer. Why is it here? It should not be here. So D is not it. The only answer would be A. Okay. Number 3. Number 3 says, which equation is represented on the number line below? So I'm looking for an equation that is represented on the number line. Okay, here is my number line. So remember what I said. If your arrow is going right, you are adding. Okay, if your arrow is going right, you are adding. So for sure, I'm just going to go through my answers. For sure, I know it cannot be A and it cannot be B because I am adding and these are subtracting. Okay, so now let's look. They start at 4/10. Okay, so I'm going to write that 4/10. And I know that they're adding. Okay, now, please, please do not. You do not say 4/10 plus 7/10. No, you do not do that. The 7/10, that is what it equals to, okay? I know that 4/10 plus something is going to equal 7/10. This is what it's going to equal. You do not put that here. This is what it's going to equal to. What you are going to put here is how many lines you jump to get to 7/10, okay? So I'm at 4/10. 1, 2, 3. I jumped 3 times. Okay? Whoops. I jumped 3 times. So that means I'm going to put 3 over what my denominator has been this whole time, which is 10. Okay, that is how you do it. And let's check. If I did it right, it should equal 7/10, because that's what it says it equals to. So 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. I keep my denominator, the 10. So yes, this is correct. So now I need to find what answers look like this. Okay, so let's look at C. C has 4/4 plus 3/3. I don't even have that here. And it says that I get 7/7. I don't even have that here. Nope, can't be C. Let's look at D. 4/10, I have 4/10. 3/10, I have that. 7/10, I have that. Awesome. D is my answer. Okay, so just remember, this is how many you jump. Okay, this right here is how many you jump. Your answer is what you get to. Okay, please remember that. Number 4, a landscape company has 2 out of 9 tons of gravel and 7 out of 9 tons of sand. How much more sand do they have than gravel? Okay, I have a lot of keywords in here. So the company has 2/9 tons of gravel, okay, and 7/9 ton of sand. How much more sand do they have than gravel? Okay, so they're comparing two things. We're comparing gravel and we're comparing sand. Remember, when we're comparing two things, that's a hint I'm going to subtract. But let's just make sure. It also says how much more. When we see how much more, I am going to subtract. Okay? It even says than. Than is also a key word that I'm going to subtract. I'm comparing sand and gravel. I'm going to subtract. Okay? So when I subtract, I'm going to put the bigger fraction on top. So I have 7/9 minus 2/9. Okay? Equals. Remember, same thing as addition. My denominator, the 9, is going to stay the same. I'm just going to subtract 7 minus 2. 7 minus 2 is 5. So now I got to see which one has that. It's going to be C. Okay. Next problem, I have 5. It says, on Friday, 1/5 of the students in class were absent. What fraction of the students were not absent? Okay, we have this key word here, not. I'm looking for the students that were not absent. Okay, now let's look at our model. Our model's telling us that we had one whole, okay? And it says we have 1/5 plus 1/5 plus 1/5 plus 1/5, and they originally had 1/5 here. So let me just add that, just to make sure that's one whole. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 ones with a denominator of 5. So yes, remember, if you have the same number on top and on the bottom of each other, that equals one whole. So yes, they had one whole. Okay, they had 5/5. They had one whole. So I'm going to put that here. They had one whole, 5/5. But 1/5 of the students in class were absent. And look, if you even look here, they took out 1/5. They took it out of here. So I'm going to subtract 1/5. Okay? Because it's even taking it out. Okay, so then it says, what fraction of the students were not absent? Okay, so So 5 minus 1 is 4. I keep my denominator. Remember, the 5 does not change. Okay. I'm going to box this in. So read my question again. On Friday, 1/5 of the students in class were absent. Okay, so this part right here was absent. Okay, just labeling it. What fraction of the students were not absent? So all of these students were not absent. Okay, so I did 5 over 5 minus 1/5, I get 4/5. If I add these, 1/5 plus 1/5 plus 1/5, you would also get 4 out of 5. Okay, so I'm just double checking myself. My answer would be A. 4 over 5 of the students were not absent. Okay. Number 6 says John cut a piece of ribbon that was 7/12 foot long. Sarah cut a piece of ribbon that was 5/12 foot long. How much longer is John's piece of ribbon than Sarah's piece of ribbon? So let's look at our key words. Okay, how much longer is John's piece of ribbon than Sarah's piece of ribbon? So we see here they have the word then, and they are comparing two people, John's ribbon and Sarah's ribbon. Okay, if they're comparing two things and they have the word then, we are going to subtract. Okay, I want to know how much longer is John's piece of ribbon than Sarah's piece of ribbon. I'm comparing both the ribbons. I need to find out which one is longer. I'm going to subtract. So I have 7 over 12 minus 5 over 12. Okay, remember my denominator, the 12, is going to stay the same. Now I'm going to do 7 minus 5. I get 2. Now if we look at my answers, I don't have that. I don't have 2 over 12. But you know what? I think I can simplify this fraction. They're not telling me to do it. They're expecting me to already do it myself. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to go into my mat. I'm going to put 2 here. Whoops. I'm going to put 2 here, 12 here. What two numbers can I multiply together to get 2? I have 1 and 2, and that's it. For 12, I have 1 and 12, 3 and 4, and 2 and 6. Okay, so now I'm going to put them in their circles. For 2, I have 1, 2. For 12, I have 1, 12, 3, 4, 2, 6. What numbers do they have in common? They both have a 1, but I can't use 1, so what else do they have in common? They both have a 2. The biggest number is 2, so that means I'm going to divide 2 and 12 by 2. So I'm going to go here, divide by 2, divide by 2. 2 divided by 2, if you don't know, think, what times 2 gives me 2? That would be 1, okay? So I'm going to put a 1 here. 12 divided by 2, same thing. What times 2 gives me 12? That would be 6. So my answer is 1/6. It's right here. Okay, so remember, if you don't see your answer here, you need to simplify. Even if you do see your answer here, please remember, still, if you're not sure if you can simplify the fraction, please do it. Okay, number 7. Colton measured a line that was 8/16 inches long. Sally measured a line that was 2/16 inches long. How much longer was Colton's line than Sally's line? So remember, they're comparing two things. They're comparing Colton's line and Sally's line. And we even have the word then. Same thing as last problem. We are going to subtract. They are comparing two things. And we have the word then. So I'm going to put 8/16 minus 2/16. Okay, remember our denominator, the 16, is not going to change. I'm going to do 8 minus 2, and I get 6, okay? So now I look at my answers. Do I have that here? I do not. So let me try simplifying this, okay? So I'm going to go back into my chart. I have 6, I have 16. Two numbers I can multiply together to get 6 are 1 times 6 and 2 times 3. For 16, I have 1 times 16, I have 2 times 8, and I have 4 times 4. Put them in their circles, 1, 6, 2, 3. For 16, I have 1, 16, 2, 8, 4. Remember, if you have a number twice, you only need to put it on here one time, okay? The numbers they have in common are both 1. I'm going to put a 1 here. A 2. I'm going to put a 2 here. And I believe that's it. My biggest number is a 2, so I'm going to use my 2. I'm going to go back over here. Divide both numbers by 2. Okay, 6 divided by 2. Remember, if you don't know, 2 times something gives me 6. That would be 3. Okay, 16 divided by 2, same thing. Something times 2 gives me 16. That would be 8. So now I'm looking for 3 over 8, and it's right here. My answer is C. Okay, number 8 says Ralph rode his bike 4/8 mile. Ashton rode his bike 3/8 mile. How much farther did Ralph ride than Ashton? Okay, so let's see again. They're comparing two people. They're comparing Ralph and Ashton. And we even have the word then. So same thing. We are going to subtract. Okay, so I'm going to start with 4 over 8 minus 3/8. Remember, my denominator, the 8, is going to stay the same. 4 minus 3 is 1. Okay, and remember, if you have a fraction, that's a unit fraction. A unit fraction is where you have a 1 on top. You cannot simplify that fraction. So if we look, yep, our answer is here, A. Okay, number 9 says Miss Jimenez bought 5 6 yards of fabric. She used 3 6 yards to make a purse. How much fabric does she have left? Oh, I see a key word. I see left. Left is telling us that I'm going to subtract. I want to know how much she had left. And let's look at our model. Our model's telling me that originally these 3 were here, okay? So originally she had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She had 5 over 6. And if you look here, I have 5 over 6 here. Then she took out 1, 6, 1, 6, 1, 6, which equals 3 over 6. So I'm going to do minus 3 over 6. That's how much she took out. And if you look here, it says 3 over 6. So now I'm going to see how much does she have left. I'm going to subtract. I have 6 over 6 here. I have 6 over. My denominator is 6, so that does not change. I'm going to put a 6 here. And then I'm going to do 5 minus 3. I get 2. So I'm going to put a 2 here, okay? And if you look here, I have 2 over 6. How much does she have left? She also has 2 over 6 because 1, 2, and your 6 stays the same. Okay, so this is 2 over 6. Okay, and this is 3 over 6. And altogether, she had 5 over 6. Okay, I'm just labeling it. So now if I look at my answers, that's not there. This answer is not there. So that's telling me that I probably need to simplify this. Okay, let's try. I'm going to go to my chart. I'm going to put 2 here, 6 here. 2 numbers I can multiply together to get 2 are 1 times 2. That is it. For 6, I have 1 times 6 and 2 times 3. Put their numbers in the circle. For 2, I have 1, 2. For 6, I have 1, 6, 2, 3. The numbers they have in common are both 1s. So I can put a 1 in the middle and a 2. My biggest number is 2. I'm going to use a 2. So I'm going to go back to my original answer. Divide by 2. Divide by 2. Okay. So what's 2 divided by 2? Okay, remember, what's times 2 gives me 2 again. That would be 1. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. 6 divided by 2, again, what times 2 gives me 6? That would be 3. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Now this is my answer. I need to see if it's there. Yup, it's A. Okay. And last problem, 10. 10 says, James is earning money to pay for a new bike. He earned 3/8 of the money he needed last week and 4/8 of the money this week. Which fraction of the money has he earned? So what fraction of the money has he earned? Okay. So I'm not comparing anything. I want to know what fraction of the money has he earned. He earned 3/8 of the money last week. So I'm going to put 3/8 here. Okay. Then it says, and he earned 4/8 of the money this week. Okay. So I'm going to put 4/8 here. I'm not comparing anything. I want to know how much money he's earned. So for this problem, I'm going to add. Okay. And if you look at our model here, it says he had this much at first, okay? This equals to 3/8, okay? We have 1, 2, 3, put a 3 there, our 8 stays the same. He had 3/8. But then if you look at our arrow, it's going inside. Our arrow is going inside. So it's telling me that then he gets this amount, okay? This amount equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, 4/8. My denominator stays the same, okay? So again, he originally had 3/8, but then he gets 4/8. So now it wants to know altogether how much money has he earned. Okay, so that's why I'm adding 3/8 plus 4/8. Okay, so my denominator will stay the same. So I'm going to put an 8 here. Now I'm going to add 3 plus 4. I get a 7. Okay, and remember, these numbers are next to each other on the number line, so I do not have to simplify this fraction. And just to make sure, it is on here, 7/8. Okay, that is the review. Please, if you are having trouble on a question, go back to it, do it over again, watch me do the video, do it yourself. Please, boys and girls, please study for this review.